Do you make a...
The first night he struck in the parking lot of the supermarket.
Where's the camera? To make it a butterfly knife, you will need... Oh, I'm gonna try to make one, but you'll need... toothpicks. I'll just use a straw, scissors, hot glue, but I just prefer hot glue, and some cardboard.
Agents of local police felt certain that they had the .22 caliber killer. Questions of Christopher's mental competency delayed the trial.
Okay.
In December 1981, the judge pronounced Joseph Christopher mentally incompetent to stand trial.
I'll show you where to prove.
He was committed to the Mid-Hudson State Psychiatric Center where he received treatment. On February 17, 1982, Christopher was deemed fit for prosecution. The trial began on April 6, 1982. The community watched every step of the prosecution
You
trial.
also can
The media reported
get a
this entire
pencil.
case on a day-to-day basis, sometimes on a minute-by-minute basis. He was good for the community because they wanted answers, they wanted information. And it was good for us because it began to convince the community that we had the right individual and that their fears could be somewhat allayed.
Okay, first you'll make the
Murders of Glenn Dunn, Harold Green, and Emmanuel Thomas.
blade.
He was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. Prosecutors never tried him for the Manhattan knife case. One question still remained. Was Christopher also the taxi cab slasher? Though the FBI profile excluded Christopher as the suspect, he later revealed details of the cab driver's wounds that only the killer could have known.
Okay. Then you'll cut it out.
Didn't completely satisfy the community needs, professionalism, thoroughness, competence, and all the other things that the community expects of a police being prosecuted. And we were able to satisfy that need because we were successful.
Okay, wait.
Through science and good detective work, Joseph Christopher would never be free to kill again. He spent the rest of his life behind bars until his death, curiously, from a rare form of male breast cancer at the age of 37.
Okay. Okay, wait. Okay. So,
In
this is it.
1992, a young mother was gunned down in front of her children. Police searched for answers but found nothing. Then family members offered a startling clue.
You'll also need a whole bunch
Federal
of
agents to untangle an
bunch
intricate
out
web of modern
holes.
drugs and murder to capture the architects of a heartbreaking crime.
Did Shiana say I love Dennis at the class? I don't know. I don't remember.
Dad said he's getting burritos.
Do it.
November 29, 1992, Atlanta, Georgia.
We watched a Minecraft movie yesterday on my school field trip.
Thanksgiving holiday. 39-year-old Sarah Tokars and her 2 children had spent the long weekend with her parents in Florida. Her husband, a well-known lawyer and judge,
You were right.
was away
He is
on
literally illiterate. Because
after a 9-hour journey.
how is 9 to nothing different from 9-0? Isn't it 9 to nothing just saying 9-0? Because right here it says Trump says he was misled by senior aides on what the 9-0 Abrego Garcia Supreme Court ruling actually meant. The Supreme Court ruled
Stupid. He thought that they all 0.
9 him. No, he's saying no. That's what I mean. He literally has to be illiterate because it says the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that you have to bring back Kilmar, Abrego Garcia. You haven't done so. You're disobeying the Supreme Courts. Well, that's not what my people told me. They didn't say it was. They said it was the 9-0.
Back into the SUV.
Like, where is the disconnect? They told them it's 9-0,
6-year-old at her side,
and
the 4-year-old still asleep.
9-0
And
means
he
9-0, right?
He first believed that all 9 of
She
them
had no choice.
voted in favor for him.
Idiot.
So he thought they were voting in favor of him.
The man put his gun to Sarah's head and told her to drive.
I wonder if he's just gonna keep acting like he's like not defying him now, or if he's actually gonna bring him back. And it's funny he's bogging off in arms about this report now saying he was misled, where he said he's misled, and they're all just saying, why are the Dems so up in arms about bringing back a gang member and illegal to our country? Just leave him where he is. And it's like, brother,
To let her children
there's no proof he was a gang member in the first place. First
And
of
the
all.
funny thing about that is
And
it's
yeah,
about due process.
it's about due process and upholding the Constitution. Because if we let you do what you just did and don't do anything about it, we start descending into autocracy and dictatorship. And it's just like they don't understand that for some reason. It's like the whole reason we have checks and balances is so we don't descend into regime territory, basically. That's the only reason checks and balances exist. To stop the president from becoming a regime leader. And yet here you are, all of
Oh,
you.
and a judge also blocked his DEI order
They're
for
a neighbor.
Yeah.
schools.
He was getting, I saw that this morning, and they were getting all upset about it. And then Tulsi was on the intelligence director. She was on the news too after that ruling, saying like during Biden's administration, all the people who worked in the intelligence organization under Biden's administration told her that they used to spend hours doing nothing but DEI work. Whatever the fucking DEI work is. I heard her say that, and I was like, what is DEI work? Like, what does DEI mean to these people? Seriously.
I have no idea.
It's like, what the hell is DEI work? It's like, and the funny thing is, she's a colored woman. So it's like, any work you do is technically DEI work. By whatever definitions you're going by, because you're a minority in the country, technically. So, all your work is DEI work. And here you are complaining about it. It's like, it's so backwards. Genuinely baffling
as
stuff.
well as inside the car. An analysis confirmed with the board's
It's funny too, because so I don't know if did I tell you or did I just tell Jake? Oh, anyways, Sony fanboys were getting all up in arms about a new game that came out, Oblivion Remastered. It's like a 20-year-old game. It came out way back in like 2006, 2005, something like that. But anyways, they were getting upset about it because on PlayStation, and only on PlayStation, you have to buy the game. And it was a ghost release, so
Okay,
they didn't announce it or anything, they just released
After
it.
you
But on
punch
PS5, I
the
think
hole
it's 50
out,
bucks, 60
you
bucks
get
if you want
the-
the deluxe edition, which is cheap because most games start at like 70.
But it's a download.
But yeah, anyways,
the
on
straw and put
Xbox,
it
since we have the
through.
Game Pass, I'm able to play it for free. And anybody who has
Then-
Xbox Game Pass on either their PC or their console is able to
Put
play the
it-
game for free. And Sony's all up in arms. The Sony fanboys are all up in
You
arms
get
talking
this.
about, oh, well, Xbox gamers are just ruining the gaming community and they don't want to support the creators. And it's like, brother. I already paid for the console. I paid for the Game Pass. I bought myself a monitor. Why on earth would I shell out 50, 60 bucks if I don't need to? Like, if I don't need to, why would I do it?
And that's the
It's so
downside.
crazy.
Isn't it a free market?
Yeah.
Then you take
And it's like,
this.
it's funny because Xbox
True.
isn't even really losing anything from this. Like, the gaming community isn't being destroyed. It's just Sony fans like creating their own false equivalencies because it's like Xbox is doing just fine. Microsoft is fine. Like I was
Then
telling
you
you, they
take
have their
this.
quantum chip, so they
But
don't
it's
really
true.
necessarily
Until it
need
gets
to worry
like
about gaming. They can
free.
just do whatever they want with Xbox at this point.
He's recording a video.
Oh, are you gonna make one too, Josie?
Yeah.
If you make one, I can teach you how to do it. I did see a video on how to make one with cardboard. Maybe you can look it up.
Yeah.
In the living room, they found a
I'm trying to.
Or no, I think the guy used popsicle sticks actually.
Yeah, I
Cardboard
saw
was
one, but
likely entered the house.
it's a use popsicle sticks, but it's hard for me to cut popsicle sticks.
Yeah. But if you do make it, I can probably teach you, or you can learn some tricks in me.
Then you
Perhaps a burglar had taken advantage of the
cut
lapse of
another
time.
piece.
Sarah surprised him when she returned home.
I still don't understand how you get that, like how you mix that up though. Because if someone told me the ruling was 9-0, how would I mistake it other than 9-0? I mean, 9-0, 9-0. They completely rule against you.
And even if it's
Then-
9-0, nothing means no
Zero.
You
one
get-
Nobody
you-
voted for
supported
you.
you.
That's why I'm not understanding where the disconnect comes from. Because they literally, at least from what I read, they didn't tell him
That's his
anything
whole
wrong.
Stick. He's just like, oh, I didn't understand. The words were blah blah blah. It's like
It's funny because I
he
wonder
doesn't
if
take
he
accountability. So
realizes how stupid that actually makes him look.
Daily.
Like if you're
he
constantly
does
just
it because MAGA keeps reporting him.
like if you're just constantly telling people, oh well, I don't know, oh well, I didn't understand, I misunderstood. At a certain point, somebody has to be like, how intelligent are you if you just constantly, like at a certain point his intelligence has to be, you would think his intelligence would be put into question because it's like, how are you mistaking so many simple, like basic level things? But I guess MAGA doesn't question the cult leader, so. Oh, and then this one came out too, and it's also free on Xbox. It just surprise dropped another remaster too. And it's funny because I think Xbox bought the companies that make these games technically, or they like Microsoft owns them now as subsidiaries. And so these companies are still making money off of us playing on the Game Pass or using the cloud gaming pass to stream these games. They're still making profit off of that, apart from the $50 purchase itself. And it's like, how do these people not get it? Because these companies are owned by Microsoft, so like, they still get a fair cut of the profit regardless of if their game is selling on the Xbox or not. They're owned by Xbox now.
Topaz agreed to lead detectives through the house. As far as he knew,
Now if you
the
make the
security
hole.
rod was in place when he left for Montgomery.
Okay, I'm gonna glue it.
Intentionally left the alarm off because a
You
plumber
could
scheduled to fix
glue
the
inside of the hole or onto straw.
Tokars led detectives to the basement where he kept his home office. He said he usually had about $1,500 locked in the safe. Now it was open and empty. Its combination was hidden in a nearby file. Only he and his wife knew it was there. Perhaps Sarah had taken the money on her trip to Florida. It was also possible that the burglar had found the combination and taken the cash. Ultimately, Tokars
Got it?
couldn't specify how much money, if
Smaller.
any, was missing. To police, nothing else in the house seemed disturbing, and no clues pointed to the killer's identity.
A lot of people were frightened. A lot of people just couldn't believe that this would happen to a mother in front of her children, and especially in the neighborhood where it occurred. So there was a lot of
Okay. Then do the
a
same
lot of
to
pressure on the department to find who killed her.
here.
Police hoped the coroner's report would give them more. Lab examiners confirmed that Sarah Tokars had been killed with a .410 shotgun. To a child, if that type of weapon had been sawed off, it might look like a 17th century flintlock pistol used by pirates on TV.
And
Only the plastic wadding and buckshot were recovered from the SUV.
it might be a 14 or maybe a 20 gauge.
Because no shell casing had been ejected, they would not be able to match anything to a specific weapon if one were later found.
Maybe 14. I'll get the ballistics for
The
you.
examiner discovered no foreign hairs, fibers, or fingerprints on the body or clothing. The anonymous killer had left nothing that could lead investigators to his identity. Former Assistant United States Attorney Buddy Parker, like many members of the Atlanta community, was stunned by the news of the murder.
We had a discussion at that morning about the notoriety.
So,
It being the wife of Fred Tokars, who was known within the legal community, having been a former assistant district attorney for
Okay.
Fulton County. I was familiar with Fred Tokars in his role as a criminal defense lawyer in a matter that was then pending in our office, a matter regarding the investigation of a particular drug dealer.
Fred Tokar's lucrative criminal
Okay.
defense practice brought him into contact with many men accused of federal drug charges. Rarely does such a murder have
Oh.
a simple motive. Solving the case would not be easy.
now you make another one
Following day,
like
two women came to
this,
the Cobb County Police
and then
Station.
you take the
Sarah
toothpick.
Tokar's sister and her cousin had a file they needed to show detectives. Sarah had entrusted her sister with the
Put it
file
in.
3 years earlier.
And then on the other
At
one,
the time,
you
Sarah made her promise to take it to
you
police
put it
if
in,
anything
and
ever
then
happened
you
to her.
cover it with
It
something.
contained what appeared to be lists of Fred Tokar's
You could
bank
cover
accounts
it
and
with
balances.
paper, but I'll do
Women
some
suggested
cardboard.
the papers might be related to Sarah's attempt to divorce Fred. Her sister's marriage was not as strong as Fred had led police to believe. Sarah wanted a divorce, but whenever she broached the subject, he threatened to use his legal connections to get sole custody of their children. Sarah was trapped. If she ever hoped to divorce Fred and keep her children, she needed leverage. After the incident, Sarah had secretly copied some of Fred's files and gave them to her sister for safekeeping. She suspected they outlined illegal activities he might be involved in. If that were so, they could be her only leverage against him in court. Investigators reviewed the files carefully. Perhaps they would help police determine whether Sarah Tokar's death was a botched robbery or a carefully planned
Okay.
conspiracy. Cobb County detectives called the FBI.
It's time to outsmart the status quo.
Okay.
From the tools we innovate to the business model we employ to get them in the hands of next-gen techs. GearWrench has
But
always been a little
glue
bit
here
different from the tools we use. Today,
and here,
we're
then
proud to be different from all
here
YouTube franchises.
and
Proud to
here,
prioritize innovative
then
value
put it
over inflated
on
fees.
that.
Proud of the speed, the
Make
strength,
sure you
and
line up the hole,
hardworking techs like you. Proud of the smart, independent skills we
and
build.
then
That's just the way we do things. And have the guts to ask why.
you do
Because we
this,
think the way
put
big
it
tool brands
it
do
in.
things is a little bit broken. We're ready to start calling them on it. And we're proud to say we don't roll with big tool. And we certainly don't play by their rules. GearWrench, forge ahead.
and then you glue it.
This place is surrounded by cops. I knew sooner or later it would end. that Special Agent Michael Twyble could determine if Fred Tokar's bank statements were somehow linked to the murder.
We were contacted by the Cobb County authorities concerning the documents they had discovered, which were brought to them by Sarah Tokar's sister and cousin, which revealed that Mr. Tokar's, her husband, had been involved in setting up offshore bank accounts and offshore corporations.
It would take time for Agent Twyble and his team to unravel the names and finances on those documents to see if they had something or nothing to do with the death of Sarah Tokars. On December 3rd, 1997, 4 days after the shooting, Sarah Tokars was laid to rest. Her 2 children were left motherless. Investigators still had no leads that pointed to the identity of her killer. Whoever had killed the young mother was still out on the streets. Just after Thanksgiving in 1997, the FBI and local investigators continued their search for the lone gunman who shot and killed Sarah Tokars, the wife of a prominent Atlanta attorney, in front of her 2 young children. Sarah's 6-year-old child had given a vague description of the suspect to police in Cobb County, Georgia, but they still had no solid leads. Copies of her husband's bank statements was sent to the FBI field office in Atlanta for closer scrutiny. Special Agent Michael Twyble hoped to provide insight as to whether the documents might somehow be connected to Sarah Tokar's murder.
Once we reviewed these documents, it revealed that Mr. Tokars has set up offshore banks and corporations not only in the Turk and Caicos but in Montserrat and in the Bahamas. These documents also showed that he had set up numerous corporations in nominees' names in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Nominees are people who in name only head dummy corporations for purposes of money laundering. Although Fred Tokars had never been accused of money laundering himself, he was an expert on the subject. Buddy Parker, a former assistant U.S. attorney, was aware that Tokars was not only a well-known lawyer, he was also a certified public accountant.
Fred Tokars was known within the Atlanta legal community as a person who held himself out to be an expert in money laundering and in fact conducted lectures for law enforcement authorities at the state level on money laundering.
Investigating the finances of a man like Fred Tokars would be a delicate business. He was well liked and well connected among Atlanta's power elite.
He was well known in Cobb County. He was also well known in political circles, in as much as he had been appointed as an assistant municipal court judge, and he had been an assistant solicitor for Fulton County.
This one is little,
He
right?
had
Does this practice that trick?
friends in